Joining us this morning, Titania Jordan.
Tatiana Jordan. Did I get the name right? Jordan?
Titania.
Titania. Okay.
Titania. All right. It's Titania Jordan. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to Connect. I'm here today with Rob Consoli of Liaison. You are the Chief Revenue Officer.
That's correct.
If I might add, so awesome. CRO for short here moving forward.
That's right.
Rob, tell us what Liaison does.
Well, Liaison, as the name implies, is we help companies exchange data with other companies.
Okay.
And with the rise of applications today, the number of applications is growing and data sources together. Getting that data in and out of your organization to your customers, your suppliers, your vendors is often very difficult. We help companies move their data.
We help companies move their data. Great. I love bullet statements because especially when you're dealing with technical applications, it can get really heady.
It can.
And so that is a very good bullet point. I wrote this down, obviously the acronym DPaaS, Data Platform as a Service.
Correct.
Expand on that.
Sure. So companies today that are being very successful, companies like Netflix and Uber and Tesla, what they're able to do is really leverage their data in a new and innovative way to drive new business insight. So Liaison's a company that has a data platform as a service, basically a cloud offering that we've invested $250 million in that we make available to our customers. We make it available so we can ingest data from different applications and systems. We can cleanse that data and harmonize it, and they can drive new business insight leveraging that data. For example, for a large pharmaceutical company, their drug names are unique. And so we're able to interrogate the entire Twitter feed and look for their drug names and look for public sentiment around their drug names, happy, sad, depressed, etc. Therefore, giving that data back to the pharma company, they can decide whether they need to do more advertising, more training of doctors, etc. So it's that innovation that Tesla, Netflix, and others have done in terms of leveraging their data that give them an opportunity to move into some different markets.
It's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. Let's talk about an example with Netflix, right? So as a consumer, I'm paying between $9 and $12 a month, depending on what plan I'm on, and I'm consuming content, right? But there's another layer to that, and that's the data. That's I'm a mom, I'm a certain age, I have a child, he's a certain age, I'm married, I live in this geographic location. So all of that.
That's right.
What are they doing with that, and how are you helping them?
This is really the future in a lot of ways, and I want to be clear, Netflix is not one of our customers. We would like for them to be.
But if they were, and you can be
if they were,
Netflix,
yes,
you
that's
can
right.
be. You can call Rob.
And I'm a customer of Netflix. But this is where the world is going. We want to personalize the shopping experience really for all of our end user consumers, and whether you're another company or a supplier to a Home Depot or a Target or a Steinmart or another vendor, getting that buying persona and getting that exactly right requires a custom blending of data from a variety of sources. And usually it's in separate systems and applications. So DPaaS is a way to custom blend that data to look for that new business insight. So they can personalize that for whoever that end consumer is.
And what are some other places where you're getting this data beyond Twitter?
Well, Twitter's just an example, but I'll give you some examples of some customers that are using our technology. I won't mention them by name, and you might figure that out, but for example, for one of the world's largest aircraft manufacturers, they've got the largest distributed aircraft manufacturing process really across the globe. Hundreds of different countries contributing parts to build this next generation aircraft. Well, someone has to manage that data to get that data from the parent company out to those suppliers, whether they're design documents, etc., stage the whole supply chain, get that product back so it can be final assembled, get the invoices and purchase orders back and forth, and Liaison is the company doing that particular vendor. So we're streamlining that.
Hence the name of the company.
Pardon me?
Hence the name of the company.
That's right.
Liaison.
That's right. Liaison. You say it so much better than me.
Well. And then Alloy. I wrote a big note, Alloy, 2 underlines, like, let's talk about Alloy.
So Alloy is the data platform as a service. It's the name that we gave this platform. It's meant to infer the ability to really bring in different sources of data to look for that new business insight.
Who handles copy for your company? I love it. It just makes sense, right?
Well, we've got a great marketing team, and they've helped us a lot, yes. Part of my responsibility, too. So.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, tell us what it means to be the Chief Revenue Officer.
Well, I'm really honored. I've had 7 years of time with Liaison Technologies, and I've moved up through the ranks in the organization. I came in really to run their North American sales team and took on marketing and took on some revenue objectives. So it's been really rewarding to have different challenges. And I love our executive team that I work with. They're all high integrity, hardworking people, have a passion for what we do. And it just energizes me to come to work every day. I literally love my job. So I think part of my challenge is I sometimes have to turn it off on the weekends.
It's hard.
Because I really like what I do.
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse.
That's right.
But more so a blessing.
Yeah.
You have a very interesting past and path. You know, you started in Auburn. You started in engineering and aerospace at Auburn.
That's right.
And, you know, with an aerospace and engineering background to now be in a sales and marketing role, how did that happen?
It's a great question. You know, I read an article that got published in Fortune on the web about we often go to college and we don't end up doing what we studied to do. I mean, that's really, I think statistics are pretty overwhelming. It's probably more like 70%. For me, I really had a passion about aerospace engineering. I was interested in the industry, and I went to work for what is now Lockheed Martin in Fort Worth, Texas. And Lockheed Martin, that particular division, manufactured the F-16 airplane, which was all, I mean, I really enjoyed all the aspect of that. But ultimately, over 7 years, I got involved in offset programs where we sold the F-16 to different countries like Singapore and Indonesia and Japan. And being out with those sales teams gave me a vision for life outside of aerospace engineering, and I ultimately set my sights on moving into high technology sales. Wow. That's how I got started.
Wow, really, really cool. Yeah. And what sort of have you gone through from a personal standpoint that kind of pushed you along that path as well?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, we're all going to go through things in life, and I've had a couple of setbacks and tragedies in my life that have really helped me evolve into the leader that I am today. I have to say that my passion, aside from Liaison Technologies, is really mentoring people. I really want to help people really have a better balance in their life, and that came by way of a difficult situation. My late wife was diagnosed with cancer in 2003. And she had a 6-year battle, and really that had to become my center and my focus of my life, to take care of her and take care of our 3 children. And then unfortunately when she passed in 2009, it was all on my shoulders and responsibility. But I learned very quickly how to get my priorities in order. And it started with my faith, then my family, then my job, and really getting that assembled in the right order so that I could do what needed to be done. And so it was a difficult situation, but I have a lot of compassion for my employees. I know everyone is going through something at some point in time, either past, present, or future. They'll go through something. And so it's given me empathy, and it's given me an ambition to really help them understand how to balance the challenges that they have in life.
Thank you for sharing that. That's some pretty heavy stuff, and I can't imagine having to go through that. And I just thank you for your authenticity. How did your faith kind of carry you through that time? I mean, you know, a lot of times people turn away from their faith because bad things happen to good people.
Right.
But I feel like bad things are going to happen to good people.
Right.
That's why you need your faith.
Yeah.
But you've actually been in that pit, so talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I would have to give a lot of credit to my late wife because she had an incredible faith. And that really, her faith during that trial, she didn't ask why me, she asked why not me through that process. And I knew I had to step up as a husband and father in that role, and I had a community around me, whether it was my church or my neighbors or my friends, that really helped get us through that situation. And in that sense, I want to give back, and that's really what my life is about right now, is giving back to others that are in need, as others had given to me during that very difficult time. For example, we had meals coming to our house for 7 months. Every night there was a meal on the doorstep.
Wow.
I mean, how does that happen? So don't you want to do that for somebody else that's going through a difficult situation?
Absolutely. So I'm pretty certain that servant leadership is a theme that runs throughout what you do.
Yeah.
And, you know, on that note, let's talk about what it looks like to lead and be a mentor.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I believe that, you know, certain people are placed in my life, and with a large sales team at Liaison, we've probably got about 45 people across our teams, whether they're lead gen people or enterprise sales reps. But I have an opportunity to mentor that younger generation, and I find that really fun. Because they come out of school, they don't know exactly what they want to do. You know, marriage might be on the forefront. They're trying to make decisions about where to go in life. And so to be able to impart some of my life experience in their life is incredibly rewarding. And many of these people have ended up working for me and done it phenomenal. And then they launch and move on to their next step in their career, which is very cool.
Fly, little bird, fly.
Right. Yeah,
Fly
so
free.
I really enjoy that aspect of it. And I would say that's a culture that we have at Liaison. Our culture is really, we have great teams, great people, great resources. We really look out for each other, and we just want to be the most successful data integration and data management company on the planet. And we've grown pretty rapidly. We started out, when I joined, we were about 20 million in revenue. We're just at about 100 million in revenue right now.
Nice. Congrats.
So, yeah, it's been really fun.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you do as a company that directly impact the company culture that you spoke of?
Well, you know, we're not on the West Coast, but Atlanta's becoming the Silicon Valley of the East in a lot of ways.
Totally.
And it's so fun to be that. Now, my marketing team is all in San Jose, a great group of resources there, but we've tried to impart some of that culture in Atlanta. For example, we took about a third of our cubes out of our offices, and
nice.
we made sort of play areas, if you will, and
open
recreation.
Concept.
Yeah, open concept couches. We've got a putting green, we've got a shuffleboard table, we've got a break room with a pool table and Xbox and other things. Try to bring that culture. We like that team concept when our employees can get together, kind of and intermingle together, not sit separately. We also, in our development area, we set out very large, beautiful wooden tables, and with monitors on all four corners, and so you can just see the energy and collaboration that takes place.
I love that.
So.
The shift is so cool to be a part of, because I was a part of the cubicle land back
right.
in the early 2000s,
right.
and then being able to work, you know, in places like 3CI and the Atlanta Tech Village and Switchyard's Downtown Club, and down Techstars at Ponce City Market, like really, really cool and collaborative, you know?
That's
I mean,
right.
For Pete's sakes, if you're going to be somewhere 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week, you know, away from your family, it needs to be kind of cool.
It does.
You know?
It really does.
So
we take it a step further, honestly, even for our healthcare benefits. We have plans where the employee and their entire family is covered for free. They have no out-of-pocket expense, which is unusual.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Winning.
Very unusual.
That's awesome.
Great benefits we do a lot of outside activities as a team, whether we're supporting different charitable events and so forth, which helps to bring the company and team together as well.
That's really cool. Are y'all hiring?
We are.
I'm busy.
Yeah.
I'm busy right now, but like that sounds like a really cool place
You'd be
to
a
work.
great spokesman for Liaison. So, but yes, we're continuing to grow and continue to hire people. Yes.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so you know you get the content game, and we're trying to create really awesome content here that people are going to want to search for and consume. So on that note, I have a few questions I want to ask because I feel like you are just a wealth and depth of knowledge.
I hope so.
So my first one, I can see the blog post playing out now. What are some of the trends you see in the space that you're in right now?
From a technology perspective? Sure. Well, data is the new oil. Let's be clear about that.
Wow.
Right?
That
it's the
is
new
a blurb.
currency, if you will.
Data
right?
is the new oil. Yep.
Data is really what's driving innovation and driving business today. And companies that can't embrace a data strategy are going to be left behind. We hear things like digital transformation and things like that. Companies really need to move in that direction. That's going to take a variety of different forms. Did you know that 90% of the world's data was created in just the last 2 years?
Wow.
From a metric perspective.
Wow, I don't doubt it now that you've put it that way.
So, I mean, a tremendous volume of data. Well, who's going to mine that? Well, the companies that are successfully mining that are going to be the Googles and the Amazons today, right?
Yeah.
They know your buying profile, they know your habits, they know exactly what you need. What's happening now in the retail industry is they're trying to figure out how to leverage that, how to leverage the data that they have. So Liaison, our DPaaS, our Alloy platform is an enabler to help companies leverage these vast amounts of data that they have that are all separated in different applications. We can bring them in together. So that's certainly one trend that's happening. Another one is IoT, Internet of Things. We have wireless devices. I mean, we all have mobile devices. We're all in a connected world today. We're just scratching the surface with a number of IoT devices. Those are also going to provide a tremendous amount of data sources. So this is an exciting time to be in IT. I don't know, can I say that as an aerospace engineer?
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
An exciting time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really think we're on the cusp of something really big, and it's fun to be a part of that.
Absolutely. You know, it's funny. I'm a little bit scared, but mostly excited, you know, when things like the Amazon Echo comes out,
Right.
and, you know, just having voice activation enabled on my phone. Like, it's interesting. I noticed that I haven't searched for something in a browser,
Right.
yet Facebook is now serving me ads for things I may have talked about with people.
That is a little scary and daunting.
Yeah,
Yes.
but that's not far-fetched, is it?
No,
I mean,
it's
if they've
not.
overheard me say things like roller skates or bathing suit, and all of a sudden I'm seeing an ad for
That's
roller
right.
skates in my feed, like,
Yeah.
that's where we're going.
It's a compromise, I think, between our privacy and convenience, and that's where we're going to have to figure out how to draw the line and where to draw the line.
Yeah, it's definitely to be continued. How about some key pieces of leadership advice? You know, you're in a place where you are a leader and you are a mentor, but I'm sure there were people that paved the way for you. And what were some of those nuggets that they gave you?
Well, I think some of them are characterized in our core values as Liaison. One of them that comes to mind is to be bold. And we have a CEO that's an engineer and very smart and has built a great company, and he really challenges us to be bold, to take that next step, to take that leap of faith. It may or may not work out. Sometimes it doesn't. Look at Elon Musk and how many times he failed before he became successful. But I love that mindset.
Yes.
Like, it's okay to fail.
Yep.
Fail fast.
Yes.
And fail often, and you'll find your path to success. So that be bold certainly resonates. We play to win. And that's important from a sales perspective. Since I run North American sales, you know, we're going to do everything we can to win that business. And we're working with some of the largest companies here in the Atlanta area, and we've won some great deals, and that's fun. Next one is really act with integrity in everything we do. I believe it's a personal core value of mine, but also shared by the company. When you do the right thing all the time for your customers, for your employees, everyone that you interact with, you know, good things happen.
Man, I feel like I just had a deep dive in like some really, really good stuff. Y'all feel me out there? Yep. We have people not only in front of the camera, but behind the camera, like, slow clap. Slow clap, Rob.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, as we conclude, I'm so thankful that I've had this time with you, and that I'm able to share both your personal and professional story. Is there anything that you would like to leave us with? Anything that we didn't get to talk about?
I think in general, as I mentioned, I think this is a very exciting time for all of us as consumers, as employees, et cetera. I mean, we're moving into a digital realm here, and it's fun to be a part of that. And certainly the other thing I'd want to leave the team with is, you know, these life experiences that we have. They're good, some are bad, but they all shape our character. They all give us an opportunity to grow and to learn and to become who we were destined to be, to find that inner passion. I'd love to challenge our listeners really to find that passion. What drives you? What is going to give you the most enjoyment in your life, whatever that is? Find that, and a job doesn't become a job anymore.
That is so spot on. Rob, thank you so much for being here, for your time, and for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me. Enjoyed it.